The stranger in the smoke height was a cold, silent night on the edge of Sector 9, a forgotten human base on the far planet Arden 6. Most soldiers were asleep. Only Commander Jake was awake, watching the stars from the tower. He liked the silence. It reminded him of Earth, before the wars, before the missions, before everything changed. Suddenly alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. The main gate sensors picked up movement outside the perimeter. Jake grabbed his rifle and ran to the command room. "What is it?" he asked. "Something's moving through the smoke." "It's small. Maybe an animal," replied a young officer. They pulled up the camera feed. Shadow moved slowly, limping toward the gate. It was hard to see through the thick gray fog, but it didn't look like an animal. "Open the gate." "It's just a little," Jake ordered. "Sir, just do it." The gate opened halfway. Smoke rushed in, and the figure stepped forward, small, thin, and shaking. It was a child, but not human. Her skin was pale blue. Her eyes glowed like soft stars. Her hair floated around her face like it was underwater. Everyone froze. "Please," she said in a weak, trembling voice. "Help. My mother. She's trapped." Out. No one moved. No one spoke. "Get her away." "From the gate," said one soldier. "She could be dangerous." "She's just a child," Jake said quietly. He stepped forward and knelt in front of her. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Leia," she whispered. Her legs gave out. She fell into Jake's arms. He carried her inside. Medical bots scanned her. Her body was cold, bruised, and covered in dust. She hadn't eaten in days. "How did she get here?" someone asked. "More importantly," said Captain Reese, "why? Is she here?" They moved her to a holding room. Jake stayed behind while others argued about what to do. After an hour, Leia opened her eyes. "You're not safe here," she said softly. Jake leaned closer. "Why? They're coming. The ones in black suits. They took my mother. They think we know something." "Who are they?" he asked. "Humans," she said. "But not like you. They hurt people. They take things from inside us." Jake felt a chill run down his back. He had heard stories. Secret units that ran tests on alien species, collecting energy sources and genetic data. But those were just rumors. ... Right? "Where's your mother now?" he asked. "In the old forest." "She's trapped in a machine. They left her to die." Jake stood up. "I need more proof. How do I know you're telling the truth?" Leia looked at him, her eyes wide with pain. She raised her hand, and her skin glowed faintly. A symbol appeared on her palm, one Jake had seen before. A secret mission badge, buried in classified files. "Where did you get that?" he asked sharply. "My mother gave it to me. She said someone will recognize it, someone who still has a heart." Jake turned away, his mind raced. This mission, this symbol, was from a time he wished he could forget. He walked to the control room. The other officers wanted to report the child to Central Command. "We'll hand her over," said Captain Reese. "She's not our problem." Jake shook his head. "I'm taking her. Alone, you'll be court-martialed. So be it." That night, Jake packed a small bag, food, water, medkits, a weapon. He found Leia sitting near the window. "Ready?" he asked. She nodded. They left through the back gate while the others slept. The stars above watched in silence. They entered the forest zone, dark, cold, and filled with strange noises. The trees were taller than buildings. Vines glowed faint. Green, it felt like a place where no human should walk. "How far is your mother?" Jake asked. "Not far," Leia replied. "But we are not alone." A strange sound echoed in the trees, a soft clicking. It's like metal tapping wood. Jake turned around. Nothing. They kept walking. After 20 minutes, Jake saw a broken drone half buried in the ground. Burned, cut, destroyed. They were here. Leia said, "Who?" "The black suits. They left traps. Be careful." Jake stepped forward and heard something behind them. He turned. Fast. Nothing. He lifted his gun slowly. Then he saw it. A small red light blinking far behind them. We're being followed, Jake whispered, eyes filled with fear. We have to hurry, she said, before they find us. Into the forbidden zone. Red light blinked again. Jake dropped low, pulling Leia with him behind a fallen tree. He raised his rifle, scanning the forest. The sound of clicking metal echoed softly, like claws tapping on stone. Don't move, he whispered. Leia held her breath. Through the mist a shadow passed. Tall, smooth, fast. Not human. Not alien either. A scout drone. Black, silent, built for hunting. It stopped. Scanned the area. Waited. Jake's heart pounded. The drone's red eye glowed, inches away from their hiding spot. It tilted slightly like it could sense something. Was close. Something breathing. Then a rustle in the far bushes. The drone turned and sped off toward the sound. Decoy bird, Jake said, relaxing. The forest is full of them. We're lucky. Not lucky, Leia said. The forest is alive. It protects us. Sometimes. Jake looked at her, confused. But there wasn't time to ask. They moved again, deeper into the forbidden zone. This place, it didn't feel like any forest Jake had ever seen. Giant roots wrapped around metal ruins. Strange glowing flowers opened and closed like breathing lungs. The ground itself pulsed slightly, alive, almost aware. What is this place? Jake asked. Leia looked around with sadness. This was once our home, before the humans came. No one told us you lived here. They didn't want you to know. As they walked, they passed an old metal tower half buried in vines. Jake wiped off the rust. Unit 9B, a human research outpost, long abandoned. He checked inside. Scorch marks, broken chains, dried blood on the walls. Experiments, memories of screams, seemed to echo in the metal. Jake clenched his fists. This wasn't. In the reports, Leia walked in slowly. She pointed to a wall. On it, scratched deep into the surface, was a message in alien script and a human name beneath it. Jake, he froze. Your mother left this, she said. She remembered you. Me. How? You were the one who let her escape years ago. His mind raced. Missions blurred together. There had been one secret off-record where he saw a prisoner escape. A woman with glowing eyes? They never found her. That was your mother? He asked. Leia nodded. Double quotes. I thought she died. She lived. She never forgot your kindness. They left the outpost and moved toward a narrow canyon. We're close, Leia said. But the traps begin here. Jake spotted the first one. A pressure plate hidden beneath moss. He marked it. The next was a thin wire that would trigger a spike trap. Every step forward was slower. It's more dangerous. They climbed down into the canyon. The air was colder here. Heavier this place. It doesn't feel right, Jake muttered. Because it's not, Leia said. This is where they break people. The black suits call it the cradle. The cradle. A lab. But also prison. A place where minds are erased. Where power is taken. Suddenly, a low hum filled the canyon. Machines woke. Hidden turrets rose from the walls. They were old, but not dead. Jake grabbed Leia. Run. They sprinted down the path as red lasers blinked to life behind them. Blasts fired. Stone exploded around them. They dove into a side tunnel just as the entrance collapsed behind them. Darkness swallowed them. Then a soft glow. Leia's hand lit the path. Are you okay? She asked. Jake coughed. I've had worse. They moved through the tunnel deeper and deeper underground. The end, they reached a wide chamber, and there she was. The alien woman, tall, graceful, but broken. Her arms chained to the wall, her eyes half closed. Leia ran to her. Mother. The woman opened her eyes slowly. Leia, my star. Jake stepped forward. The woman looked at him. You, she said, barely a whisper. Looked away? You saved me once? I didn't know. What they were doing? Now you do. Leia cried. We came to free you. Too late, her mother said. They're already here. A sudden tremor shook the room. Jake looked up. Dust fell from the ceiling. The walls glowed red. "We triggered something," he said. The chains retracted. The alien woman screamed in pain. "They locked me into a machine," she said. "If I move, it sends a signal." Jake pulled out his toolkit. "I'll disable it." "No," she said. "You don't understand. It's not just a trap. It's a signal to them. To the ones hunting us." A screen lit up behind them. A face appeared, cold, human, and full of hate. "General Rhodes." "Hello, Jake," he said. "Didn't expect you to still be alive. We're stupid." Jake stared. "You're behind this?" "I gave the order. Years ago. Now I'll finish it. That child and her mother, they're keys to a new kind of weapon. And you just walked them right to me." The screen went black, missiles armed, locks sealed, and the countdown began. Secrets from the past countdown. 3 minutes. 2 minutes 59 seconds. 2 minutes 58. The red timer blinked above their heads, casting a dim glow across the dusty chamber. Jake stood frozen, eyes locked on the ticking screen. Leia clutched her mother's, hand shaking. "What's happening?" "You're going to blow this place up," Jake said quietly. "Bury you. Bury the truth." The alien woman, older now, weaker than in the memories Jake had of her, pulled herself upright despite the pain. Her chains were alive, wired deep into the wall, fused into metal veins that pulsed like blood. "You have to go," she said. "Leia, leave me." "We're not leaving you," Jake said. "You don't understand," she whispered. "Place is not just a prison, it's a data vault. Every test, every secret, every name, it's all stored in the core behind me." Jake looked at the wall, smooth, silver, with a single glowing circle in the center. "If they destroy this place," she continued, "they destroy everything, not just us. Every record of what they did. No one will ever know." Jake cursed under his breath. He stepped toward the wall, studied it. It was ancient tech alien design, but clearly touched by human hands. Wires, ports, and encryption layers laced through the surface. He turned to Leia. "Can you open this?" She looked unsure. "I don't know how. Mother always told me not to touch the core." "You have to try," Jake said. "It might be our only way out." Leia walked forward slowly, hand trembling. She placed her palm on the glowing circle. The room changed. The walls flickered. A soft hum filled the air. Like wind through a crystal cave, holograms exploded out from the core, floating images. Spinning files, old recordings, humans in black, suits, experiments, screaming aliens, war plans. And then Jake saw something that hit him like a punch to the chest. A younger version of himself, standing in a white room, watching, doing nothing. A female alien cried out behind glass, held down by cold machines. It was Leia's mother. He had been there, didn't remember it fully. The military wiped memories from certain missions, but it was real. It was all real. He had turned away. "I was part of this," he whispered. The alien woman nodded. "You were young and afraid, but you saved me in the end. You looked away, but then you opened the door." Jake stared at the ground, ashamed. Leia reached out and held his hand. "You're different now," she said. "You're trying to make it right." Suddenly the floor rumbled. Missile countdown. 2 minutes. From above, the sound of rotor blades echoed. Ships, they had arrived. "They're here," Jake said. "They'll be dropping soldiers. Probably drones first." The alien mother spoke quickly. "There is a second exit, through the lower tunnels. But you'll need the core key to open it." "Where is it?" Jake asked. She looked down at her chest. A small, glowing shard sat embedded in her skin, right above her heart. "They put it inside me, said it was safer that way. It's killing me." Jake hesitated. "We need it." She nodded. "Take it." He reached into his bag, pulled out a medical knife. "I'll be fast." Leia turned away, crying. The process was painful, but silent. When it was done, the mother collapsed. Breathing weak, fading fast. "Take the shard," she said. "Go to the lower tunnels. Unlock the gate. Show the galaxy the truth." Jake pressed her hand. "You saved me once," she whispered. Now save her. Missile countdown. 1 minute, Jake. Grabbed Leia's hand and ran to the back wall. The shard glowed in his grip. He placed it into a hidden slot near the floor. A hidden panel opened, revealing a narrow tunnel with silver roots running along the walls. Go, 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 he shouted. They crawled inside just as the chamber behind them began to shake. Stone cracked flames erupted. The last thing Jake saw before the tunnel door closed was Leia's mother, sitting silently as the fire rushed toward her. The tunnel sealed. With a soft hiss, darkness. Then a dim blue light flickered along the walls. Guiding them forward, "We're alive," Leia whispered. "She saved us." Jake nodded. "Now it's our turn to finish what she started." As they crawled forward, the tunnel opened into a massive underground room, untouched by war, glowing with pure alien energy. In the center stood a figure, human, armed, helmeted, waiting. "Hello." Again, the figure said. Jake raised his rifle. "Rhodes." The helmet came off. General Rhodes stood tall, scarred, eyes cold. "You brought the key," he said. "Thank you." "Not a chance," Jake said. Rhodes smiled. "You think you're the hero in this story, Jake, but the truth is, we were always building something bigger than both of us, a new future, one where humans rule and aliens kneel." "Tortured children," Jake said. "You destroyed families, and we built weapons from it." He pulled out a small device. "Give me the shard," he said, "or I detonate the planet's crust. We all die." The cradle awakens. The air inside the underground chamber felt heavier, like something ancient was watching. Commander Jake aimed his rifle at General Rhodes, who stood calm, confident, with his thumb resting lightly on a small detonator. "You don't have to do this," Jake said, voice steady. "I already have," Rhodes replied. "This isn't just about power, Jake. It's about evolution. Dominance. Survival." Leia stepped behind Jake, holding the glowing shard close to her chest. Through her veins, "You call this survival?" Jake snapped. "You tortured a child's mother. You destroyed entire species for tech. You gave humanity a future," Rhodes said coldly. "And he gave it away when you sided with her." He pointed at Leia. "She's a child," Jake growled. "She's a weapon," Rhodes said. "You don't understand." Jake's finger twitched on the trigger, but before he could move, the ground shook. A loud hum echoed through the chamber. The walls lit up, symbols appeared in the air, glowing, spinning, shifting like they were alive. Strange energy pulsed from the center of the room, where a massive structure slowly rose from beneath the floor. A cradle. Not for a baby, but for something much older. Something sleeping. Leia stared at it, wide-eyed. "What is that?" Whispered. "The core intelligence," Leia said. "My mother told me stories. It's the heart of my people. It holds all memories and all power." The structure opened like a flower, revealing a crystal sphere floating in midair. Inside it, energy flowed like a storm trapped in glass. Rhodes took a step forward, eyes filled with hunger. "It's real," he breathed. "The alien mind, the data core, centuries of knowledge." "Don't touch it," Leia said. "Why?" "Not," Rhodes mocked. "You think it belongs to you?" "No," she said. "It doesn't belong to anyone. It listens. It chooses." Suddenly, the shard in Leia's hand glowed brighter. It lifted from her palm and floated toward the sphere. Cradle reacted instantly. Energy surged. The lights turned blinding white, and then a voice, not loud, not angry, but deep, ancient and alive. Human, alien, both have come. One carries blood, one carries guilt. Jake stepped back. "What is that voice?" Leia answered, barely above, a whisper. "The cradle. It sees our hearts." "Seeks control," the voice said. "The other seeks redemption," Rhodes laughed. "This is nonsense. I don't need its judgment. Just need the data." He lunged toward the sphere. Bad idea. The moment his hand touched the energy field, A blast of force threw him backward like a rag doll. He crashed into the wall, groaning in pain. A symbol appeared above his body, red and cracked. Unworthy. The sphere turned slowly toward Jake and Leia. The voice returned. You have walked through fire, lost and still. You choose to protect. For this, we offer a choice. A panel opened beside the sphere. Inside it was a second shard, pure white. Humming with energy. What is it? Jake asked. A key, the voice said. To truth, to power, to peace or war. Leia reached out, but Jake stopped her. Wait. He turned to Rhodes, still crawling on the floor, bleeding but laughing. Don't you see? Rhodes coughed. They're tricking you. That sphere isn't offering peace. It's testing you. If you take that shard, it will bind to your mind. It will be theirs. And if I don't, Jake asked, then they erase everything. But truth dies here. The child becomes a target again. And you go back to being a ghost. Jake looked at Leia. She didn't say anything, but her eyes. They held trust. Hope. He turned to the sphere. What happens if I take it? He asked. You become the voice between worlds. Bridge, the shield, the sword. You will carry memory and pain, power. Jake stared at the shard, then reached out and took it. Light surged. His vision exploded with images, alien cities burning, human warships firing, soldiers crying, children screaming, and then calmed the sound of waves. He stood on a shore, not real, but peaceful. A voice, soft this time, spoke inside his head. You have accepted the burden. Now you must protect it. He blinked. He was back in the chamber. Rhodes was gone. A trail of blood led to a side door. Leia held Jake's arm, her eyes glowing. Faintly, you did it, she said. Jake wasn't sure, but he felt something inside him shift. The shard had bonded with him. And with it came knowledge, hidden locations, secret labs, names, commands. He now held the keys to exposing everything the black suits ever did, but also destroying them. Come on, he said. We're not done yet. They walked toward the exit. Behind them, the cradle folded back into the ground. Silent once more, but it left them one final message. This world is not yet lost, but the war is far from over. The betrayal thief walked in silence. Jake and Leia moved through the narrow tunnel that led away from the cradle chamber. The air felt warmer now, not because of the environment, but because something had changed inside Jake. He felt the shard's energy in his blood. Not painful, but heavy, like memory itself was weighing down his soul. Every step forward, images flickered in his mind, things he had never seen, yet somehow remembered. Experiments, secret meetings, tortured aliens, wiped soldiers, hidden. Labs. Jake now knew too much. Are you okay? Leia asked. He forced a nod. Just thinking. They reached the surface at dawn. The forest was quiet. Oh, the smoke had faded. Birds, real ones, sang softly in the distance. A human dropship waited just beyond the tree line. You called for help? Leia asked. No, Jake said, narrowing his eyes. He raised his rifle. The dropship opened, and out stepped
Captain.
Reese. His old second in command, Jake.
What?
Reese said, arms raised. Stand down. We're here to extract you. How did you find us? Jake asked coldly. Tracking beacon in your medkit. Standard issue. We picked it up an hour ago. You weren't answering comms. Leia squeezed Jake's hand. He didn't remember activating any beacon. Orders are to bring you both back. Reese said. Alive. Whose orders? Central Command. Jake stayed silent. His eyes scanned the others. 5 soldiers behind Reese, armed but relaxed. They didn't seem hostile. Then Jake saw it. A tiny mark on Reese's glove. A. Red ring. The same red ring on Rhodes' glove. He knew what that meant. Black suit? They had already gotten to Reese. You're working with Rhodes, Jake said flatly. Reese smiled. I'm working for the future, Jake. Same as you. You're lying, no? I'm just not hiding anymore. He stepped closer. We saw what you did. You touched the cradle. Get to carry it now. And we can't let that walk around unsupervised. Jake's finger tightened on the trigger, but Leia stepped forward. We won't let you take him. Rhys tilted his head. And you? You're not even supposed to exist. Do you know how much your blood is worth? One of the soldiers behind him smirked. Heard she can control tech with her thoughts. Maybe she can fly a ship with her mind. Maybe another added. Maybe she can shut off your heart like a switch. Enough, Jake said. Give us the girl and the shard, Rhys said. You walk away. No charges, no war, just peace. Peace. Built on blood isn't peace, Jake said. Rhys sighed. Then, I guess this is goodbye. He gave the signal. His men raised their weapons, but Jake was faster. He dropped, rolled, and fired. The first soldier went down instantly. Chaos exploded. Bullets tore through the trees. Leia dove behind a rock, its eyes glowing as she activated a protective shield around her and Jake. You said you couldn't use your powers, Jake shouted. I didn't know I could, she replied. The energy rippled out, knocking one of the soldiers into a tree. Jake rushed forward, grabbed a fallen soldier's rifle, and tossed it to Leia. Do you know how to shoot? She stared at the weapon. No. Point and pull. Don't hesitate, she nodded. They moved as one, Jake taking the left flank, Leia covering the rear. Rhys shouted, Don't kill them. Bring them in alive. Not gonna happen. Jake muttered. One by one, the soldiers dropped. Jake didn't kill. He aimed to wound. Disable, but Rhys didn't show the same mercy. He fired a stun round straight at Leia. She screamed and fell. Jake turned in rage. A second shot hit Jake in. The chest darkness closed in. He woke up. Cold metal cuffs on his wrists. Inside a cell, a military ship gray. Clean, empty. Next to him, Leia, unconscious. Pale. He crawled to her. Leia, wake up. Nothing. Then, a voice rose. On the intercom I told you, Jake, future doesn't wait for the weak. We'll take what's inside her, and inside you. You'll thank us later. Jake stood. You've already lost, he said. Rhodes laughed. Oh no, you still don't understand, do you? A screen lit up in front of Jake. Footage played. It was him, Jake, giving orders. During the first alien captures, his voice clear, secure. The female, extract the child if possible. Any resistance, eliminate. Jake froze. That's fake. No, Rhodes said. That's the part you forgot. We wiped it from your memory. You didn't just allow the program, you started it. Oh, Jake dropped to his knees, betrayed by his own past, his own choices. But then, whisper Leia. Her hand touched his. Her eyes opened, glowing brighter than ever. You were different then, she said softly. But now, you choose. Jake looked up and realized the truth. He couldn't run from what he did, but he could decide what came next. Though the final Dorth ship hummed like a sleeping beast, cold metal walls surrounded them. Windows, no sky. Just a prison in the air. Jake sat in silence, staring at the floor of the holding cell. The video of his past still echoed in his mind. His voice, his face, giving the order. The same order that led to Leia's mother being taken. Secure the female. Extract the child. He wanted to scream, but next to him, Leia sat quietly. Not afraid, not angry, just watching him. You saw it, Jake whispered. I started this. All of it. She didn't answer. You should hate me. I don't, she said softly. Why? Because you're not that man anymore. I've seen the man you are now. And so did the cradle. That's why it chose you. Jake looked up for a moment. He felt something inside shift. Not guilt. Not shame. Resolve. We're getting out of here, he said. Leia gave a small smile. Howie pointed to the cuffs. They're reading my vitals, but they don't know the cradle bonded with me. Watch this. He closed his eyes. Focused. The shard inside him pulsed. The cuff sparked once, twice, then unlocked and dropped to the floor with a clank. How? Leia gasped. I don't know, he said. But I think the cradle didn't just give me knowledge. It gave me control over their systems. He helped her stand. Can you walk? She nodded. What now? Now we find the control room, and then we open the final door. Somewhere else on the ship, General Rhodes stood in front of a massive door, old alien, sealed with a symbol that pulsed like a heartbeat. He held the white shard Jake once carried. Soon, he muttered, soon, everything changes. This wasn't just a door. It was the vault. The last remaining chamber from the original alien civilization, and inside it, according to old intel, was the code. A genetic sequence powerful enough to rewrite any DNA on the cellular level. Not a weapon. Something even greater. A key to evolution itself with it. Humanity wouldn't just conquer, they would become gods. Sir, a soldier whispered through a cum, we lost containment on the prisoners. Rhodes clenched his jaw. Send every available unit. I want them alive. I need Jake's shard connection to unlock this thing. Meanwhile, Jake and Leia moved through the narrow maintenance corridors, past flickering lights and sleeping drones. Jake pulled up a mental map from the cradle. The control room is 2 decks up. Suddenly alarms wailed. Red lights flooded the hallway. A robotic voice boomed. Security breach. Sector 12. Target, Commander Jake Hart. They know we're out, Leia said. Then we don't have much time. They ran, dodging scanning beams, crawling through vents, sliding between sealed doors. At one checkpoint, drone spotted them and fired. Jake pushed Leia down, took the shot to the shoulder. Pain exploded. But he kept moving. They reached the control room sealed behind a blast door. No time for codes, Jake said. He touched the panel. His fingers glowed with light from the shard inside. The door melted open, inside. Screens lit up. He found the main command hub, typed fast, then stopped. On the screen, final vault access blocked. Override. Required, he frowned. This isn't right. Leia moved beside him. What is it? We don't have full access. Rhodes is already at the vault. He opened another screen. A feed from security cameras showed Rhodes standing before the alien door, soldiers waiting behind him. Jake zoomed in, and what he saw made his heart freeze. A second child, just like Leia, taller, older, eyes glowing brighter than fire, chained. That's not possible, Jake said. There was only one child. No, Leia whispered. My sister. What? My mother. She hid her. Split our genetic code in 2, so they'd never be able to unlock the cradle or the vault with just one of us. Jake understood now. Rhodes needed both children, Leia and her sister, to fully activate the alien code. And Leia's sister. She looked half awake, like she was under some kind of control. We need to stop him now, Jake said. Before he uses her to open that door. At the vault door groaned as the symbols rotated. Rhodes held both shards now, one from Jake. One from the second child. A glowing circle appeared on the door. He placed his hand on it. Open, he said. The door creaked, cracked, and began to split open. Inside, a massive chamber of glass and light. Tubes filled with swirling energy, floating fragments of memory. And in the center, a living heart of the alien world, glowing, pulsing. Get out. The extraction teams, Rhodes said. We rewrite history today. Then a voice echoed through the chamber. No, you end it. A blast of energy hit the soldiers from behind. Jake and Leia stepped into the vault. You can't win, Rhodes growled. You're too late. You still don't get it, Jake said. Shh. You think this power belongs to you. It never did. Leia moved toward her sister, who was still in chains as their hands touched. Energy surged. The air itself shimmered. The vault began to wake up. Symbols spun faster. The floating heart reacted. The voice of the cradle returned. Balance restored. Blood reunited. Final choice. Unlocked. A new panel opened. Jake stepped forward. 3 buttons. each with a symbol. One for destruction, one for control, one for freedom. What do we choose? Leia asked. Jake looked at her. Then at the soldiers, at Rhodes, and at the vault that pulsed with the weight of thousands of years. He raised his hand and made his choice. Humanity tested. Alien vault trembled. Light spiraled through the chamber like galaxies spinning in fast motion. The floor cracked beneath Jake's feet. Above them, the great machine, the living heart of the cradle, pulsed faster and louder with every second. In front of him were 3 glowing symbols. Etched into an ancient alien control panel, the first symbol, a burning world destruction. The second, a crown and chains control the third. 2 hands open. Freedom Jake's hand hovered over them. Choose, Adel's voice said. But choose not only for today, choose for the years you will never live to see. Behind him, Leia held her sister, both of them pulsing with light. They were connected now, bonded by the same code that once split their destiny. Now they were one and through them. The cradle had become fully conscious again. General Rhodes watched with wide eyes, sweat on his brow. You touched the wrong one, he growled, and you kill every human on this planet. I know what that machine holds. I've studied it. Can't control it. No, Jake said. You never tried to understand it, only to own it. He turned to Leia. What would your mother have chosen? She looked down, holding her sister close. She believed in peace, but not peace by force. She wanted her daughters to have a world without chains. Rhodes raised his gun. Then you're fools, he spat. The aliens wiped out our colonies before. They'll do it again. Jake looked him dead in the eyes. We'll have the truth. And he pressed the third symbol, freedom. The vault roared to life. Light exploded from the core, flowing out in waves of pure energy. It passed through Jake, through Leia and her sister, through the entire room, and far beyond the walls of the ship. As it moved, it unlocked hidden systems across the galaxy. Alien satellites long thought dead. Ancient servers buried in forgotten ruins. Human black sites storing stolen DNA secrets. War plans, and it released them all in seconds. The truth flooded the galaxy like fire through dry grass. Footage testimony, blueprints of pain, files exposing. General Rhodes' experiments, the names of the soldiers who took part. The real cause of the war, everything humanity had hidden behind the word defense. The cradle had chosen revelation over revenge, and now no one could turn away from the truth. Rhodes fell to his knees. You've doomed us, he whispered. You've turned our own people against us. No, Jake said. The moment you decided fear was stronger than hope, Leia and her sister stood tall, and then, for the first time, 2 of them spoke as one. Their voices echoed through the chamber, not loud but steady. We forgive. But we do not forget. We remember, so it never happens again. The light around them grew blinding, then quieted. The heart of the cradle, its task complete, slowly dimmed. A final message hovered in the air, in a language both ancient and universal. Truth is the first seed of peace. Days later, warships were called back. Trials began. Some humans denied the truth, others rose to face it. Jake testified publicly. He gave names. He accepted his own sins, and then he disappeared. From the public eye, some say he returned to the ruins of Arden-6. Some say the cradle took him in, made him part of its memory. Leia and her sister became ambassadors, living proof that the future could be built by 2 worlds once divided by fear. Years later on, a distant moon, small school sat in a quiet valley. Inside, children of many species learned together. Humans, aliens, hybrids. A teacher, old, scarred, quiet, walked through the halls. His name was not listed. He didn't need one. On his wrist, a faded tattoo, Unit 9B. The place where his guilt began. But on the wall behind him was a plaque carved in 2 languages. It read, "When truth was lost." One man remembered, when hope was broken, 2 children chose to forgive. The school stands not for victory, but for understanding.